So here's what we're going to do tonight. We're going to do two things. I have an intel drop that I want to talk about, and then after that, we're going to get into I don't know, maybe about a 45-minute or an hour-long rapid-fire Q&A. For those of you that know what a rapid-fire Q&A is, great. If you don't know, I'll explain it before we get started on it. Okay. I know the background and stuff here is a little bit different. I know the lighting is a little bit different. This is a new streaming platform today. So I'm just getting used to a bunch of things. I hope you guys could bear with me while we do that. First and foremost, I want to talk about something that I learned earlier today. Through my platform and my partnership with the good folks at goldquiz.com, we have now rolled over $500 million worth of 401ks or IRAs in my following alone. Since the end of, I believe we started at the end of 2022, and we had a very strong year in 2023. $500 million has been converted from fiat currency, which I don't know if you guys know this or not, but if you have a 401k or an IRA, you are most likely invested in the stock market. That is where your money is invested. That's how it grows, or that's how it loses value. So if you just have a standard regular 401k IRA, 90% of them are invested in the stock market. So when the stock market's doing well, your 401k or IRA goes up. When it's doing worse, it goes down, right? That is fiat currency. And I have been arguing against and warning about fiat currency and the potential crash of the US dollar and the fiat currency worldwide, really. I've been talking about that for years. And anybody that's been following me knows that. $500 million we have taken out of the cabal's hands, the corrupt stock market, the volatile stock market, the banking industry as a whole. We have taken it away from them and we have put it into precious metals. So what that means is if you have a 401k or IRA and it's in the stock market and it's in this fiat currency, right? You could take it out of there, still keep it in a 401k or IRA, same way, except it's not backed by the dollar anymore. Now it's backed by gold. Now it's backed by silver. Have you guys seen what gold has done over the last 12 months? Best year ever, had its closeout, the highest point ever, and 2024 is just set to go right back up. So all of the signs point to that. If you still have your 401k or IRA invested in that damn dollar, get it out of there. Get it out. I am a firm believer that gold and silver is the future of everything financial. Okay? If you haven't done it yet, $500 million of our followers, they already have done it. Your followers have had this experience. Do it. Get on board with this. Goldquiz.com. The link is down below in the description. The Federal Reserve just announced sometime earlier this week, I think, that they had a loss this past year of $114 billion or something like that. I like to think that our 500 million had something to do with that. And I know it's a small, dent, less than 1%, maybe even 1/2 of 1% if you do the math. Did I get $1 million of that? No, I think I got more than that, but that's not from the IRAs or the 401ks. That's just from my partnership with my partners. So you shouldn't worry about what I get. You should worry about what you get and the benefits of what you get by rolling it over. Because if the QFS comes, as Charlie Ward has mentioned, as Bix Ware has mentioned, as who's that other guy? Mark Z, I think, is into QFS and Jasera and Asera and stuff like that. Reevaluation happens and this is finally announced. You're not going to want to hold anything that has the dollar symbol in front of it ever again. So goldquiz.com is the way to get out. And thank you to all my followers who have trusted my referral of my friends at Gold Quiz. I think, as time goes on, you're going to realize that was one of the best decisions of your entire life. So Charlie Ward said there is no show with Phil. Charlie said it is AI. Yeah, there is a AI version of Charlie Ward going around telling everybody that he's going to do a show with me. You could see that his mouth kind of goes out of sync. That is fake. That is just a scammer trying to get you to join their channel. And on that channel, chances are they're going to try to sell you something. So do not join that channel. As of right now, Charlie and I do not have a show set up. We were going to do a show this week. It probably would have been tonight or tomorrow, but I really screwed up there. And I shared a private conversation between Charlie and I, which, Charlie had some private opinions about Nick Olivera and Good Lion Films. And I was just a little aggravated last week, and I was trying to show everybody who was telling the truth and who wasn't telling the truth. And I realized you guys are smart enough to know who's telling the truth. Why do I have to try to influence what you're thinking? I don't have to tell you guys what's true and what's not true. You already know that. Why am I so worried about what somebody else is telling you about me? The only people listening to that garbage is the people that I don't want in my following anyway. So I don't know why I focus so much time and effort on that. My focus on that should have been strictly through the legal aspect of what I can do and cannot do against those that are defaming me. So I don't give a rat's ass about who says something about me on a live stream or on a Telegram channel or on a whatever. I was completely distracted by all that stuff last week, and I'm ashamed that I even lowered myself to that level, because that's not something that I usually do. I'll troll every once in a while. I like trolling. I think it's funny, especially when you're trolling assholes. But getting myself so in deep with that back and forth was just completely out of character for me. So you're not going to see that happen again. That was a down point, and thank you for sticking with me, through it. But we're done with that now. So I'm going to go after those sons of bitches in the legal world, and I'll keep you guys updated as that happens. But as of right now, I just have to be a little bit covert until the things happen that are in the works right now. So once they do happen, that's when I'll tell you about them. Let's get to the intel, shall we? Because I've been talking for 20 minutes? Somebody's going to say, whoa, the real intel starts at the 40-minute mark. Anyway. I'm going to try this screen share feature. I don't know if it's going to work, but we're going to try it. Here we go. I want to show you guys something which is part of the intel for tonight. So let's see. Start screen share. Select a window or a screen. Entire screen. This is new, so I don't know. Oh, okay. I'm sharing my screen. Can you guys see that? Can you guys see the screen share right now? Hello from Belgium. Cool. The show with Charlie would have been a needed show of unity. I know, but he's mad at me. So, I can't make him do it. I want to do it, but I can't make him. You guys are not seeing my screen? Okay. This is just a feature I wanted to try out, but I don't think it's going to work. You are sharing your entire screen. No, I'm not. This is the beta version of how about now? Can you guys see that now or no? Still no? Okay. All right. It's no big deal. I'm going to do the intel anyway, but I would have showed you what? Yes? No? One troll says yes. And then it gets me to think, oh, yes, it's working, but everybody else is saying no. All right, we'll get on to the Intel anyway without the screen share. I don't know why that's not working. So, we're, I see down here screens, but it's not. What if I do this? Not gonna do anything? Ah, that worked, huh? You guys can see my screen now, right? What, still no? You saying no? Yes, it's working. Okay, this was just a button I had to click. So it looks like I'm down in the lower left. That's cool. All right, here's what I wanted to show you guys, just to toot my own horn a little bit. You should see Telegram on the screen right now, correct? Whoops. Should see Telegram. You have to see Telegram, right? This stupid chat down here doesn't. There we go. I guess I could do that. Yes, you see Telegram? All right, cool. So here's what I want to show you on Telegram, just to toot my own horn. This is my announcements channel. And right here, if you go to the very top where it says pinned message, if I go back a few pinned messages, the January 16th right here, I pinned the message. January 9th, I pinned the message. Now it looks like it's about defamation. If I go back here, this one's about Will Bird, also defamation, and we'll click one more back to January 5th. You can see that right here. I posted this on January 5th. King Charles in the news soon. Well, King Charles is most certainly in the news, isn't he? You don't see Telegram? No? Okay. Well, this is a disaster. So let's just go back to this. All right. I don't know. This Rumble Studio stuff needs some work, obviously. So, it is what it is. Anyway, back on, we'll just get to the Intel so I can stop messing around here. Back on, it was January 5th. I just showed you guys, but no one saw it because it's ridiculous. But regardless, on January 5th, I put a post out that said, King Charles will be in the news soon. And in fact, I'll share that on Telegram here in a little while to show you. I shared it earlier today too, but I'll share it again later. I told you guys King Charles was going to be in the news soon. And when I said that, I wasn't guessing. And this is the intel for tonight. Back then, it was actually right after the first of the year. I think it was, I want to say January 2nd or 3rd of this year, right after the new year, King Charles died. Now, you could say that, oh, King Charles, has been dead for a while. It's not the real King Charles. He was never really the king. And some or all of those things are probably accurate. But what I wanted to tell you guys tonight is that the entity who we thought we were seeing, that was King Charles, that guy is no longer. And the reason for that, well, I don't want to say the reason for that, but why it matters to us is because this is a marker for what's to come next. And what's to come next has everything to do with NESARA and the QFS system. So when the Queen's death announcement happened last year and King Charles was crowned and given power, or whatever you want to say about it, there we go. That's what I was looking for. Perfect. The Queen's death announcement was supposed to trigger a major financial restructure worldwide, which is known as NESARA GESARA. That announcement was delayed. And although it should have happened right afterwards, that should have triggered a chain of irreversible events, which led us into GESARA and into a new currency and into all the things that we've been waiting for. It was delayed. Why it was delayed, I don't know. What I do know is I'm not too happy about it because honestly, NESARA saves a lot of people in many different ways, not just financially, but if you see the amount of different consequences that there are because of debt and because of interest rates, mortgages, car loans, student loans, credit card debt, the list goes on and on and on. The consequences behind all of those things are things that you wouldn't even think of: murder, robbery, domestic violence, suicide, kidnapping, custody battles, divorce. The list on that goes on and on and on. And most of the stress that's in this world, most of those triggers, so to speak, are because of debt. So what this world needs is not a great savior, not a great a messiah to come and rescue everybody. Although that that'll happen or not happen. Regardless of that, the biggest thing that we need right now is to get rid of the damn central banking system and to eliminate all of the illegal debt that has been accumulated for years and years and years. Decades, centuries even. When the Queen's dead, the Queen's been dead for a long time. We've all known that. It didn't just happen, in 22 or 23, whenever they announced it. That was the announcement of the Queen's death, okay? That announcement was supposed to trigger a series of events which led us to NESARA. NESARA is national, NESARA is global. It's going to happen worldwide. There were things that just, I guess, the White Hats didn't necessarily anticipate after they made the Queen's announcement. I told you, the cabal still had a little bit of power in this world and even though they weren't operational as this untouchable being as they used to be, the power that they did still have was significant enough to be able, am I still screen sharing? Let's stop that. There we go. The power that they did have was still significant enough so that they could stop the White Hats from implementing what they wanted to implement. They can't stop it now. That was a year ago when the Queen's death announcement happened. Not going to happen anymore. So they kind of switched midstream to plan B, if you will, or plan C or plan F or plan whatever the hell this is. We're on so many different plans. And they gave the king the crown. Now, whether the king is dead or alive when he took over power, this is all just almost like comms, like markers, so to speak. The king, I learned about this in early January, which is when I made that post that I showed you guys before. The king's being in the news right now is going to lead to the announcement of the death of the king. The announcement of the death of the king is, as of right now, because the announcement of the death of the Queen was supposed to lead to NESARA, but as of right now, as I'm told, the announcement of the king's death, of King Charles' death, which is coming. It's coming. I don't know if it's going to be within days or a week or 2 weeks. I have no idea, but it's coming. It looks like it's going to be this month, sometime in January. When that happens, that is the final marker. That is the final instance of the final step that we need, the final coded message, so to speak, that the White Hats are giving to their worldwide alliance group to initiate NESARA. So we are that close to having that happen. Kate, Princess Kate Middleton, I think her name is, or whatever the hell, who cares? Her being in the hospital now is absolutely no coincidence whatsoever. It has something to do with the announcement of the king's death. I don't know exactly what they're doing with Kate, how it relates to Charles, how it relates to the Prince Philip, I don't know. But what I do know is seeing the king in the news, which I knew was going to happen. Like I said, 2 weeks ago, I made that claim. This is a very good step towards the financial freedom that we're all hoping would have happened by now, but obviously has not. William, what did I say? Philip? Who's Philip then? I am. I meant Prince William, yes. I have no idea why I said Philip. Philip is something. Isn't he the son or something? Prince William, not Philip. Everyone's getting really angry about this. Maybe that was a comm. You guys never think of that? You know what I like about this new streaming system I have? It has built-in API capability in Rumble Studio, so I could actually see who's watching on every single platform now, outside of my little ticker that I used to use before. It's built right in now, so they took my advice and did that. Queen's husband. That's what I was thinking. Yeah, grandpa, right? So that's the intel for tonight. King Charles is no more. And that will trigger a series of events worldwide. And that's sort of what we've been waiting for quite a while now. Okay, so I don't have any really groundbreaking, earth-shattering intel other than that, although I think that's a pretty good piece of intel because that's something that we've all been anticipating and wanting for a long time. So I think that's some pretty good news. So what we're going to do now is we're going to get into a rapid fire Q&A. Let me explain what a rapid fire Q&A is. I know we have a lot of new viewers here tonight. That's another thing Rumble Studio does, is it tells me first time viewers in the API. So these numbers are probably a little wrong because I'm not streaming to every platform, but it looks like we have over 100,000 first-time viewers tonight. So if you guys are hearing about goldquiz.com for the first night, you really got to look into that. Get into goldquiz.com. If you have a 401k or IRA, roll it over and join the crowd. We have over $500 million rolled over into precious metals instead of dollars. So yeah, let's get into a rapid fire Q&A. So the rules for a rapid fire Q&A is you could ask me any question you want. However, the question has to be poised in the sense that it's a yes or no question. I'm only going to answer yes or no questions. I will not even read a question to answer that question if I'm unsure at all about the answer. So based on all the intel that I have right now, based on all my sources, based on all the connections that I have right now, I will answer the questions to the best of my ability based on that intel with the yes or no answer. There will be no elaboration of why it's yes or no. It will simply be a yes or no answer. You take that and then you go research it up and see what else you could find. Okay. So I have all the feeds all in one from everywhere that we're broadcasting to. It still says locals is connected, which is really weird. But if you're in any of the chats right now, whatever platform you're watching me on, if you ask a question in the comments, I will see it in the live chat feed. It's a multi-stream feed. So am I related to Abraham Lincoln? No. Is Vivek bad news? And does Trump know it? Yes and yes. Is disease X real? No. Keep in mind, I'm only reading the ones that I know to be accurate. Am I Snowden? No. Am I sure white hats control the cartels? Yes. Did Loretta James get arrested? Yes. JFK Jr. still alive? Yes. Is the EBS still needed? Is it needed? No. That doesn't mean they won't do it. It's just not needed, I don't believe. In fact, I know it's not needed. Was Brian Kemp ever taken care of? Yes. I have to assume what you mean by that, but if I'm assuming it means the obvious, then yes. Is Diana related to Melania? No. Am I part of a sting operation? Am I part of a sting operation? Yes. I can't elaborate, but yes. Are sleeper cells a concern? Yes. Will the Pope situation be a marker as well? Will we learn he is dead? Yes, and yes. Will we get a World War III scenario? No. Do I have a lot of houses? Yes. 14, I think. Most of them are investment properties. Are they still doing EBS? Yes. As far as I know, as of right now, yes. Is Ariel a good source? No. Are we on a 13-month calendar? No. Am I related to Seth Rich? No. Is Snowden Mark Poole? No. Again, I have to assume what you mean by that because you're not asking, I don't think, what you actually mean. Is there still going to be a virus attack? No. Is the JFK Jr. we know the real JFK Jr.? I don't know. I shouldn't have read that one. I don't know. David Quigley or whatever his name is. He gives a really good case. I want to see the DNA test because I can't just believe it, but it has me. Listen, if you don't question everything nowadays, you're out of your mind. With all the lies that have been revealed to us, if you're not questioning absolutely everything, it's you that has a problem. So I'm not going to rule that out. Is Grassley a white hat? Yes. Charlie Ward said that Nasera Jacera will not happen until the fake Biden is out of office. Is this true? Yes. Is the reason the IRS is telling Americans to hold off on filing taxes because of Nasera? First of all, I didn't know they were saying that, but if that's true and they are saying that, then the answer is yes. My hat is crooked. There we go. Is Obama at Gitmo? Not right now. Will Diana return? That could go either way, 50-50. It's really going to depend on her. Roll over 401k to what? Gold or silver. It'll be your choice. When you talk to the folks at goldquiz.com, they'll look at what you have and they'll advise you accordingly. But precious metal is much better play, in my opinion, than the dollar. Look what's happening in the dollar worldwide. It's just evaporating. It's going to be worth zero soon. Will Hillary get arrested? I'm assuming you mean publicly, but the answer is yes. Hillary's dead. Will Trump be jailed? No. Is Obama alive? Yes. Are you making up your own questions? No. Why would I do that? I have millions of questions here to choose from. Do the White Hats control HARP? Most of HARP, but there are little pockets that are still under the dying cabal control. It's complicated. It's very complicated how HARP works, but for the most part, we do. Am I an ex-CIA agent? I cannot answer that question. If I have to answer that question, the answer is no. Is JFK Jr. still the VP option? I never said that, and I never agreed with it with whoever did say it. I think Jr. is more suited for a global ambassador type role, not the vice presidency. Is Diana disguised as Melania? No. Is Diamond Oprah? No. Are the NBA and other national sports systems going to be exposed publicly? Yes. Well, yes or no question? Yes. Will the military be used to enforce NESARA law where elected officials step down? Yes. Have we really won this? Yes. Am I still doing a show with Charlie? I want to. Charlie's mad at me, and I don't know how long that's going to last. It could be forever. I wanted the show to be this week. I shared a private conversation between Charlie and I. He's not happy about it, and I don't blame him. If he did that to me, I'd be mad too. I'm hoping he accepts my apology. I've apologized many times already to him personally, publicly, now again publicly. So there's nothing else I could do. I mean, I really screwed up there, and I should not have done that. I just acted out of character. Am I a Freemason? No. Is 107 JFK Jr.? No. Will there be an election in November? No. Do the White Hats control the fake Biden? Yes. Is Ezra our son? Yes. Is Seth Rich alive? Yes. Is Nancy Pelosi still alive? Yes. Have you ever gone by or been referred to as White Rabbit? Yes, actually, I have. It's weird that you knew that. Do the White Hats control all of our military? The answer is yes, but the military doesn't necessarily work that way. So the people that control, the people at the top are White Hats, and then there's different levels of military, right? They control all those levels, but there are people in those under levels, so to speak, that aren't necessarily taking commands from the White Hats just yet. It's business as normal, status quo, but they will when it's needed to be. They will take those commands. Will Trump be back before a financial crash? Yes. Do you anticipate an EMP? There have been a couple instances so far that an EMP was almost released, and the White Hats either stopped it or succumbed to what their next play was. So in other words, there was a plan that was supposed to take the next step, but a valid EMP threat stopped it. An EMP threat would debilitate. Imagine an EMP threat coupled with HARP. We have these frigid temperatures moving across the country right now in the US. Imagine HARP and then an EMP threat or an EMP bomb put on that area. What would happen to heat? What would happen to water? What would happen to food? People would die like crazy. So there have been a couple instances that there was a massive EMP threat and the White Hats actually had to back down and hit pause. This plan is very, very complicated, and there's so many different moving parts and so many different things that have stopped it from concluding. And that's what I was referencing in the show a couple nights ago as well. Is Charlie Ward really dead and has been replaced? No. Some of these are good questions I just don't know the answers to, so I'm avoiding reading them. Are you still an agent? No. Are Q phones really a thing? Yes. Am I related to Frank Abagnale? No. Did you use Mark Poole as an alternate identity in the past? Yes. People are saying Q is up, by the way. Who will follow King Charles? It's not a yes or no question. If you could rephrase it as a yes or no, I'd be happy to answer that. Is Michelle Obama really Michael? Yes. Ask Joan Rivers about that. Well, she's dead, but look up Joan Rivers' comment. Well, comments. Talked about it a lot. Is Epstein a distraction? No. I wouldn't call it a distraction, no. Will you ever tell us who you really are? I'll get into I kind of already did, but I'll get into the details at another time when it's safe. Will William be king? No. Has the EBS date been determined? As of right now, it has, but it's been determined in the past too. So I don't necessarily, there's so many things that I didn't know about before, and now that I know about them, I could see why this is so static and why it's so fluid. So, did Rudy really betray Trump? Yes. Is Fetterman still alive? No. Will Q post again? Yes. Is the border as bad as it looks? No. Will our phones work when Starlink is set up? Yes. Is your Q account active? Yes. Channel 2075, I believe. It's channel 2075. Will Diana replace Charles? No. Does DJT have a twin? No. But you should ask more questions about that roundabout topic. Phil, are you adopted? No. Will there be another lockdown? Yes, not like the previous one. The lockdown this time will be for martial law. So obviously quite different. And it's going to be limited too. You'll see. Can the IRS still initiate liens or take access? No. Is Epstein still alive? Yes. Would NESARA have to be made public 120 days after November 5th? Yes. And November 5th, my back. November 5th was the day that it was finalized. So, yes, that's what the law says. Could they change that? I guess, but I don't see any reason why they would. Is CERN still in operation in the Switzerland-France border? No. Siri thought I was talking to her. I don't know. Is Lynn Wood your attorney or one of your attorneys? No. I wanted him to be, but he was going through so much when I started the defamation lawsuit against the Times. He couldn't do it. I understood. Going to Hawaii next Friday, in your opinion, is it safe to go? I don't answer safe to go questions, especially with everything going on with Boeing, which I also told you about a year ago. So I don't answer safe to go questions. I could tell you I'm also going to Hawaii in February as well as in March. But I can't tell you if it's safe. Will medbeds cure addiction? Yes. Addiction is just about your receptors. If you could flush your receptors and start them over, yeah, cures it. Will royals be dissolved all around the world? Bingo. Yes. That is why there will be not another king. Will Trump be king of the world? No. Is DeSantis deep state? No. DeSantis has a role. He's playing it. He's playing it well, actually. Is JFK Sr. still alive? No. Passed away in January, I believe, of 22. 104 years old, something like that. Does Trump have multiple body doubles? Yes. In fact, every president always has. You're seeing one of Joe Biden's former body doubles pretend that he's the real Joe Biden. You guys ever see the movie Dave? With, I don't remember the actor's name, but the president dies while in office and they actually find a lookalike, and the scumbags don't want to announce the death of the president because of policies and stuff like that. So they bring in this lookalike and he actually runs the country. And then he realizes that, hey, I'm president. I don't got to listen to these scumbags. I'm going to do what I want to do. It's a really good movie. It's from like the early 90s, I think, but it's just exactly what's happening today. It's like they were so stupid they can't come up with their own thing. You know, they just have to go off of a movie. It's just... Is Trump's body double doing the rallies? Some of them, not all of them. I want to point you guys on that topic. I want to point you guys to the, I think it was the G7 summit, the day of the G7 summit. Mike Lindell on Frank's speech had a live stream of President Trump. Right now, I was reporting at the same time that Trump was actually at G7. Yet Lindell had him live on Frank's speech. Go back and watch that video of Trump on Frank's speech. Tell me that you think that's Donald Trump. You got to be a blind nincompoop to think that the person that was talking to Mike Lindell was Donald Trump. Looked nothing like him. Sounded nothing like him. I think purposely act nothing like him. Trump was really at G7. And Lindell was kind of making fun of the whole situation, I think trolling the situation of a fake Joe Biden as president. I'll never forget it. Because I had intel that Trump was actually at G7 with the other world leaders, and Lindell is interviewing a fake Trump. It was hilarious. Will the X39 patch help autism? The patches work differently for everyone. I have had people that we've enrolled in my Quantum X39 team say that it has helped with autism. But I think it's different for stem cells work differently in everybody's body. Some people have to wear them longer to experience effects. Some people get a one-day effect. I had a one-day effect. Will redemption centers happen? I'm assuming you mean for currency exchange. The answer is yes. You tell us to question everything. Do we question your info, Phil? Sure. Question it all you want. I have no problem with that whatsoever. I do the best that I could do based on the intel that I get. Sometimes it's not the greatest intel. Sometimes it's the best intel. Sometimes the dates are wrong. Sometimes the dates haven't happened yet. But I constantly do the very best that I could do. And I can't do any more than that. I think I do a lot better than others. If I had to grade myself, I would say A+. Could I go higher? Is there higher than A+? If there is, I would do that. I think I'm allowed to do that. I think I'm right too. So is Nikki Haley deep state? Yes. It's not even her real name, by the way. Can banks foreclose on your mortgage? Yes, depending on who the bank is. In some cases, no, but in probably more than half of the cases, yes. So I can't really answer that definitively. Will the SCOTUS overturn of the 2020 election be announced soon? Yes. Could Mike Lindell be JFK? No. Is Tim Ballard good? Yes. Is Nikki Haley playing a role? No, she's just really, not good. Can the X patch help cancer? I've had people that have gone through cancer report good things, but I can't make a claim as to a generality of the X patch helping cancer. I can't do that. Does Vivek know his cover is blown? Yes. Will Disney corruption be revealed? Yes, and on a lot of different scales, it already has started to be revealed. Did Sidney Powell really betray Trump? Yes. Keep in mind, guys, this is the intel that I have in this time, and this is how I'm answering these questions. So, are Epstein and Bourdain brothers? No. Are you the one who will flip the switch? Yes. I didn't read some of that question. It's not It's not that simple. There is no switch. There's a lot to do. It's not like I, go to the wall and flip on a light switch. I know you're using it metaphorically, which is why I'm answering it in that way. But you have to understand that it is a big, it's a lot. It's a real lot. Did Mike Lindell betray Trump? No. Are you a Knights Templar? No. Does Don Jr. play his father? No. Does Charlie Ward really dislike Nick Alvear? I'm not going to comment on that. Charlie, I've already betrayed Charlie's trust once, and I'm not going to comment for him. You could ask Charlie that question. Whether he chooses to answer or not, I have no idea. That's not for me to say. Is Carrie Lake going to be vice president? No. You said JFK Jr. was alive. Is he? Yes. Do you believe silver will go over $10,000 an ounce? I do believe that, yes. Will Disney be cleaned out and reappropriated? Yes. Is the Ukraine war over? There's never a war in Ukraine. There was Russia invading Ukraine and stopping the cabal from doing a lot of terrible things. Ukraine never had the ability to actually fight back. The whole media narrative was to get Congress to send money there because that's money laundering at its best. It's taking money out of the United States from the taxpayers, giving it to the cabal because they're broke. Is your shirt a comm? Yes. Are you related to Ingersoll Lockwood? No. Do you know who Michael Cottrell is? Yes. Has Jamie Dimon gotten arrested? No, not yet. Is the Brunson case going to be a game changer? Already has. Is Bigfoot real? Maybe from the lands beyond. I thought that. I don't have any concrete evidence for that, but I think too many people have reported a Bigfoot sighting for it to not be real. So I'm going to say that it probably has happened. I think some people are lying about what they saw, but I don't think everybody is. And if there's a type of, if I had to think up a type of entity that could not only live but survive in the lands beyond, number one, it would be a very tall individual because the citizens of the future were much taller than we are. Biblical people from the Bible in the biblical days before Christ were much, much taller than us. The long hair covered mammoth thing, very cold in the lands beyond in most cases. So Bigfoot would match what I would think something like a creature or an entity from the lands beyond would look like. Do you still believe Flynn will be VP? Yes. Phil has said he met JFK Jr. That is correct. Phil did say that. Do you have to be in Hawaii to do the EBS? Don't have to be, but make things a lot easier. Oh, I'm just dying to tell you guys so many things. Is the moon picture at the beginning of your video a comm? Yes. Do you believe silver will spike this year? Yes. In fact, in 2024, I believe silver is going to outvalue gold, because it should outvalue gold for all the reasons that we talked about in the past. I want to take a quick shout out to Field of Greens. They're one of my sponsors for tonight. Field of Greens gives you your vitamins and your fruits and vegetables in the form of a pill. So instead of eating all those servings of fruits and vegetables over and over and over again, you take it's not really a pill, it's more like a mixture that you mix in with water and you drink it. Makes you feel fuller, therefore helps you lose weight, gives you the proper nutrients that you need throughout the day. If you go to fieldofgreens.com, link is down below in the description, and use the code PHIL as a promo code, you'll get 15% off your first order and 10% off any subscription or recurring order that you do on their website. So I take it all the time. It's worked really great for me to regulate my health as well as my weight. I love it. And when you combine it with things like the X patches that we were talking about the other night, it's just, I feel healthier now than I ever have in my entire life. So fieldofgreens.com, link down in the description. Are you related to Kaylee? No. Is Raffensperger a white hat? No. Is Newsom dead? Yes. Can you lean back so we could read your shirt? Want me to take it off? You guys will like that, wouldn't you? Weirdos. Jim Carrey, a white hat? Yes. Hey, white hat. He's a good guy. He knows what's going on. He's not like part of, any sort of operations, so to speak. But is King Charles 11-3? Yes. See, KC. See how they did that? They're smart. They get some stuff. Curious on how many tuned in tonight. I could tell you. Just I don't know if this ticker is accurate because let me start my API. Hold on. It's going to take like 5 minutes to load up since we're already live. So. All right, give me like 5 minutes and I'll let you guys know. That one might be accurate or close, but we'll see. I can't tell you why Hawaii is easier. Is Dan Scavino a good guy? Yes. Die hard. Is the border wall part of free energy? Yes, it is a giant tuning fork. And it looks like one too. I mean, it's kind of obvious. If you know what's going on with free energy and you know what Tesla knew, I think it's very obvious. Is Mike Penny really Robin Williams? Is that a serious question? No. Will a fake virus kick off lockdowns? No. Do you have any connections with Mel Gibson? No. Is 11.3 mirrored a thing? Yes. Is Starlink safe? Yes. Elon is very heavily involved. Are you sexy? Yes. Yes. I'm too sexy. I'm too sexy. my love's going to leave me. I don't know the words. Who cares what the words are? Stop it. Is Trump Elvis? Wow, you guys are really on a roll tonight. No, Trump is not Elvis. Was Stacey Abrams arrested? You betcha. Is Pompeo a good guy? Yes. What about Maui? What about it? Newsom president? No. Is McAfee alive? Yes. Is the stock market crash imminent? Stock market crash has been imminent. That could be any single day. Could be any hour. Could be, you'll know. It'll happen so quickly that it'll be over and done with before you could even say boo, before you get out of work, before your kids get home from school. You probably won't know that it happened and it'll be over. You will not have time to react. It will just happen. And there's a reason why I've been screaming gold quiz, gold quiz, gold quiz, gold quiz for so long. I'm trying to help you guys the best way that I can. And if you take it, fine. If you don't take the advice, that's fine too. You know, you're free to make your own decisions. And obviously, I'm not going to force anyone to do anything. But if you're asking that question and you do have a 401k or an IRA and you have not yet rolled it over to precious metals via goldquiz.com, nothing I can do for you. Was Lahaina hit with a do? Yes. Lahaina was kind of what I was describing before, in a sense, how it was HARP combined. Remember I said HARP combined with an EMP? Well, you could also combine HARP with a direct energy weapon. And in this case, they created a typhoon out in the Pacific. And then when the winds were gusting, all they had to do was strategically place some direct energy weapon hits to start fires, which then just destroyed the entire town. There's a reason they did that too. Do I do yoga or meditate? I did for a while. I haven't really had time to do it, which I know is not really an excuse, but I did for a little while, and it really, really helped me. Being one with the earth and operating on the proper frequency and vibration level and spiritual and energy level, I think is incredibly important to anyone's mindset and the energy that they give off. So I'm definitely gonna start getting back into that. I think it's a very important thing to do. Have you ever met Valiant Thor? No. I'm not going to tell you when I'm going to be in Hawaii. But the answer to that one is yes. If you wrote it, you'll know. I'm not going to tell you if I'm related to Steve Jobs. Will we live at the lands beyond? We'll eventually have to, yes, because I don't have anything here to give a really good example, I guess. The lands beyond will become, where we're living now will become the lands beyond. And where the lands beyond are now will become where we're going to have to go. That's actually what happened during the last Great Reset. And the people that are in power now, the last times the land shifted, for example, the people that are in power now, the cabal, took control at that time, erased all of our history books and everything. And that's why everything we know is a lie. They also know that it's happening right now, which is why they keep shouting global warming, climate change. It's not global warming or climate change. There's no globe, first of all. Second of all, there's no climate change. That's also just completely fictitious, completely. Al Gore said by 2020, we were going to be under 50 feet of water across the United States. It's just all a lie. And the reason why they make that lie is because they're trying to get money out of government to pay for the switch to the lands beyond. So Phil continues to say Trump is alive. Trump is alive. And whoever's telling you not is just, I'm sorry, they're just completely wrong. I know that for a fact. That's not a guess. I know for a fact that Trump is alive. So anybody that's reporting otherwise, it has to be one of two things. They're either lying or they're just totally misinformed. But it's just not true. Is Barron adopted? Yes. Are me and Carrie going to have kids together? No. I have 2 boys from a previous marriage. She has 2 girls from a previous marriage. We have a perfect blended family. Ages 13, 9, 7, and 5. Why? Why? We have everything we need in this life. It's perfect. Is ECW number 2? Yes. Is Elon Musk a good guy? Yes. Is Bitcoin good? No. Are you a gatekeeper? I'm not going to answer that question. Will medbeds heal muscular dystrophy? Yes. Do you believe silver is going to exceed $50,000 an ounce? Yes. Were 8 ships full of evildoers sent to the sun? No. Is there a galactic federation? No. All right, we'll take about 10 more minutes worth. How long have I been going here? Yeah, about 10, 15 more minutes. The hole in the ozone was supposed to kill everyone by now. Yes, not only everyone, but everything that's living on the planet. The problem with that is there is no ozone. It's also just a made-up lie, just to launder more money. Do you know what it is about Nick that triggers you? Triggers me. There's nothing about Nick that triggers me. Not like his personality or his looks or even his words. I guess what really, I don't know if it's so much a trigger, but I guess what really got me was that I thought Nick and I were very much alike. We were both obviously doing the same work for the same cause. We shared very similar views on just about everything, from devolution to flat earth to January 6th being a setup to the way that we, brought truth to people. So I saw myself a lot in Nick, and I saw maybe not so much a friendship, because we never got off to those lengths, but I saw more of a partnership, not only a friendship type partnership, but also a business partnership. I thought we could have, through his platform, I thought we could have helped change a lot more lives for the better. And it just, I guess I said this before, but I was almost like hurt, like to me, it felt like one of my best friends was betraying me, and Nick was not my best friend by any means, by any stretch of those words. But he was a, fellow truther and a fellow producer of truth, and stood for the same things that I stood for, and then just completely flipped. Somebody told me through an email, this is probably about a week ago, that they think Nick Alvear has a certain form of autism. I think she called it ADS, and she doesn't know this, and I don't know this, and I'm just saying what she said, but she thinks that he has it because her son has it. And people with that particular form of autism, when they latch on to a theory or an idea, it's very black and white to them. There's no changing their mind for any reason. and that's because of the autism, the type of autism that exists in that person. You could show them the truth and it's not going to register at all. They are blocked from actually seeing the truth, even if it's presented to them in the face. In this case, I've shown Nick the truth, and it just does not register. It just completely just goes right over his head, in one ear, right out the other, and he's back to what was already misproven. The sad part about that is Nick's actions are illegal. So you can't use your autism, if it is autism, you can't use that autism as a crutch and say, well, this is why I did that, and this is the reason why I should be let go because of it. That's not going to happen. So, but that's to answer your trigger question. I think I just felt betrayed, by one of our own, and it wasn't a good feeling at all. It was a very bad feeling, and I'm over it. What'll happen next will happen next, and nothing anyone can do. Earth, flat or globe? The Earth is flat, and there's no doubt about that. Was Katie Hobbs arrested? Yes. Will the NASA lie be revealed? Yes. Has Nick been served? No, not yet. It's Nick's in Tennessee, so there's some steps, but we're working. Are the Maui kids safe? I'm assuming the kids, you're talking about the kids from the Lahaina fires that were missing? Yes. Is Baron Diana's son? Yes. Good question. You guys are putting it together, huh? Now that you know that, take a look at that closer, and you're going to see some stuff that I don't think you ever planned on seeing, maybe until you just heard what you just heard. One more good one. Let's see. Oh, I don't want to end it on a Nick question. Do you think Nick was a plant from the cabal against you? No, I don't. I thought that could have been a possibility, but I don't think that. I think that first of all, I don't think that Nick would take their money. I don't think that would happen. I could be wrong. Maybe he would, but I don't think that happened anyway. I literally think it's because he has a disability, and it's no joke. I'm not saying that to be facetious in any way. I think that his autism gets in the way of rational thought, and it's unfortunate, but this particular case is going to be. This is going to affect him and his family the rest of his life because of what he did to me. And I don't say that lightly. I don't say that to be proud, but if you're me, there's, you have to do something. And that's what we're doing. So, all right, one more good one. Will our current lands be uninhabitable in 15 years? Now, this is a question going back to the flat Earth, and the lands beyond, and our current sun moving. As you guys know, I don't know if you know this, and I'll end the night on this. Our current sun, well, let me digress. Our current magnetic north has been moving for the last decades, going back. If you look at the location of magnetic north, it's always a different place. It's always moving. Right now, it's en route to Siberia, for example, in Russia. So it's moving because it rotates around the center point of our greater realm. The lands that we know of are a circle, right? And let's say the circle is, where's the camera, Phil? Let's say the circle is down here, right? This circle that is our Earth it is like a dinner plate, right, is part of a much bigger circle that goes like this. So you could fit probably 4, maybe 6 of our Earths in the larger realm, okay? That circle that we currently live in travels around the larger circle, and it's controlled by a magnetic force dead in the center of our larger realm. The magnetic north that we know of, and I'm just calling it north because that's what they call it. It's not really what it is. It's not even a directional. It shouldn't be referred to as a direction. But that magnetic point that's currently en route to Siberia travels around the center point of our greater realm. Do you know what travels around the magnetic north? Our sun. So as our magnetic north traverses in a circular manner around the center point of our greater realm, so goes our sun. So everything is moving. That's why the ice wall is melting on one side and the ice wall is freezing on the other side. They call it climate change. It's not climate change. It's natural. It's just as natural as day and night. It just has happened since the Earth has been around. We live on a clock. We live on a giant clock. And there's multiple clocks in the clock. Our sun goes around magnetic north. Magnetic north goes around the center point of our realm, also known as the Garden of Eden, also known as Mount Meru, also known as Epirus Nigrum. This is all in biblical text. So as our magnetic north travels around that center point of the greater realm, so goes our lands. It's a clock. You know, it's like, if you think, what time is it right now? It is 8:30 where I'm at. It is 8:30. So what's it? 10:30 on the east. It's like thinking to yourself, well, it's going to be 10:30 on the East Coast tomorrow too, but we don't have to get to 4 p.m. to get there. Yeah, you do. You have to. You can't get to 10 without getting to 4. What, are you going to skip it? You know? So it's like, it's just natural. That's as natural as night and day. It's night right now. If there's going to be life tomorrow, it'll have to be day. You can't say, oh no, our lands aren't going to move. Yeah, they are. They've done it before. Where do you think all these ancient buildings came from? You see all these big buildings with these huge doors, right? In Italy, they're all over the place. All these huge buildings, huge doors, ancient architecture, nothing like Grand Central Station in New York, for example. That place is not a train station, for crying out loud. That was built for something completely different. We found these buildings. You ever notice on the sides of the buildings, it doesn't say built in a certain date? It doesn't say constructed in 1858. It doesn't say constructed in 1903. It says founded. That's when they found it. It was there. It was found. It existed thousands of years ago. The Earth is only 6,000 years old, 6,000 and some change. Those lands move. And I think we've probably already made one whole pass of those lands. I think the last time that they moved was probably around the time of Christ. And then 2,000 years before that, and 2,000 years before that, and 2,000 years before that. We are in the shift right now. We are living in the shift right now. And there will be lands that become uninhabitable in the lands that we know now. And we're going to have to transition to other lands. And the problem with that is, and that's part of the reason why we're fighting the battle that we're fighting today. We're in the battle for Sagittarius. And if you don't know what that is, look that up. If we, the white hats, do not have control of what the cabal currently has control of, technology, weaponry, financial, resources, we're not going to be able to transition to the new lands. They will. I'm sorry, how many watching? I totally forgot about that. I just happened to look down. I started it. Hold on. Just got to add these. Looks like the peak was 26,400,000. So that was the highest number that we had at any given interval. And the average was just slightly below that at 24,156,000. So pretty good audience, especially considering I didn't get the stream to all the platforms that I usually do. I will have that corrected by next live stream. So want to thank you guys for tuning in. You were awesome tonight. Obviously, I was awesome tonight. That's nothing new. It's totally a bad joke. Anyway, I really love you guys. I appreciate your support through everything that I've been through since the very beginning and more recently in the last few weeks. Thank you for tuning in. I will hold a live sometime between now and the weekend. Don't know when it's going to be. At the very latest, Sunday or Monday, but I don't think it's going to get that far. So I'll let you guys know as soon as I know, and we'll go from there. Love you guys. See you soon.